Very nice. Oh my god.
Oh, yes! Okay, so I've finally reached max level on the PlayStation 5, and it's taken me 441 games, I think was the actual amount, to get there. And these are the stats that I've got. I'm going to show you guys where I put my trait points, the best striker build, and show you guys some tips to become better at the video game. There's a couple variations of this build you can use. You can be slightly taller, you can be slightly smaller. I'm talking about going up to 5'8" and down to 5'4". I go in the middle. I just like it. It's a happy medium. You want to make sure that you select yourself as the striker and not centre forward. There's a bit of a weird glitch where sometimes it changes you to centre forward. I actually don't know why it does that. Please tell me why in the comment section. I don't know. But sometimes it changes you to centre forward without you realising. And your stats do get worse, to be honest. So yeah, my advice is to stay in ST, striker. Weight-wise, I stay under the 121 pounds threshold. It works in thresholds this game. There's like 4 or 5 different blocks of weight. So I think, I don't know, 120 to like 145 or something. 119 down. So I just go 119, but there literally is no difference between 119 and like 103. Let's look at the perks first. If you're maximum level, I would always go in order, well, active first touch, skilled dribbler, whichever way around you wanted to go with them. Probably active first touch first. And my third perk that I've been using is the threaded pass. Now, there's 2 different ones that I would say you can use in the striker position for your third slot. You're going to go threaded pass, or for me, you go distant shooter. And it depends on your playstyle. I don't tend to shoot from outside the box too much, even though on this game it's really, really overpowered. If you can green time finesse from outside the box, it's still dangerous. I just don't really notice when I play on our streams and you guys are there watching us play in Division 1 or watching us play in our record clubs. I don't tend to pick the ball up from 30 yards and just bang it. So I've gone with the threaded pass because I'm playing a lot more through balls. I'm playing 5 or 6 L1, R1 triangle. That is what you want to be doing, by the way. L1, R1 triangle, through balls over the top. I'm playing 5 or 6 of them on average a game. I might have 1 shot outside the box every game max. So it's kind of like, well, what do I want to be better? So I've gone with the threaded pass. A lot of people talk and ask about, why don't you guys use like the, the clutch finisher so you last 15 minutes, or there's another one, right, where hot streak, when you score, you get 15 minutes of boosted statistics to your shooting. And it's kind of just because threaded pass is always active as long as I'm playing a through ball. And the other 2, skilled dribbler, always active. Active first touch, always active. So why would I want to put something on that might only be in the game for me for 15 or 30 in-game minutes max? What if we score and then I only get 1 more chance, or I don't even get a chance? It just seems like a bit of a waste of a perk to me. Right, never before have I been so indecisive on selecting attributes or trait points or skill points on a FIFA. I normally know what the meta is, it's pretty simple, but there's a couple of different options. Don't get me wrong, there's some serious basics that you have to follow if you're playing in striker. Real quickly, if you're still listening at this point of the video and you're not subscribed to the channel, consider hitting that red button, ringing the notification bell, and leaving a like. It does us a massive favour. Thank you. So let me run through what I've got and explain why I've got it. Nothing in the physical, nothing in the defending. Now that's normally a little unusual. Some FIFAs you'll see like a lot of people put stamina in different positions. Obviously you would probably want stamina, but my stam never goes, I never lose it. I'm normally finishing games with at least like a 5th or a 6th of stamina left, unless it's a really tough game. Dribbling, obviously, we come over to and then have nothing in the defending. I'm a bit of a skill move enthusiast, so I like the skill moves on this game, even though they're not great. There's only a couple that are effective, but we've gone and worked our way down. First off, to the Maestro Archetype. I believe that getting the ball control and dribbling up to that level is important. I mean, if I take that off, 89 dribbling is still very good, but 96. I mean, surely I can get past the CPU players. Got a little bit of a boost here in ball control to take us to 91 as well. Agility-wise here, we come down to get some skill moves. And, of course, that reads as attack positioning and balance. It isn't if you remove the skill point. That is just a balance +3 that I've got on again for 3 skill points. And 73 to 76 isn't great, but there's only one other place I could put those skill points, and I'll show you in a second. Passing wise, we've got 1 in the short passing. Again, just a skill point 3 takes you from an 80 to an 82. And shooting wise, you might be surprised as a striker to not maximize absolutely everything in the shooting tab, but a lot of it isn't needed. I mean, heading and free kicks, how often do you head a ball when you're shooting? It depends on your play style, but for us, you can probably tell from me being 5'6", that we don't cross it too much, and actually when we do cross it, I've usually got time to take a touch and put it in the back of the net. It's not really like a cross where I'm competing with centre-backs. So heading would probably be a misallocation and a waste. The Sniper Archetype costs 10 skill points and gives you penalties and free kick accuracies, but again, how often do you get a penalty compared to how often you're going to have a shot from, anywhere where you need shot power. So you come over to this tab, we've got the finishing and the volleys improvement to get to 97 finishing, and of course the finisher archetype is a complete necessity for 10 skill points. It takes you to 97 finishing. Shot power on this game's a little bit weird because it reads low, but sometimes when you hit the ball, especially if you can green time, you will smack it in. You will absolutely whack it. Again, penalties, no need for it at this point. So I've just boosted my long shots and shot power and got that 5-star weak foot. And then coming over to the pace, a lot of you might have fallen off your chair in complete shock that I don't have max pace, but the reality is sprint speed for 3 skill points to get me from 94 to 96. I'm just trialing it out at the moment and thinking, is there much difference between 94 and 96? I could obviously, as I was saying earlier, take off this balance +3 and maybe lose a little bit of well-roundedness to my pro. I mean, I don't know. Even saying that, does 73 to 76 make any difference? I don't know. So that's probably the only skill point that I'm on the fence with a little bit still, where I'm thinking maybe I'll swap between the sprint speed and the balance +3. And obviously we have absolutely nothing in the goalkeeping tab. Some big tips that I want to give you guys for playing in Striker is basically just to have the fundamentals of this. You can play around and have slightly different skill points to me. You could probably put on some stuff to short passing. Maybe you could boost the strength. You could take the balance off and put on the... But as long as you have these 3 archetypes, for me, they're the most overpowered archetypes for the forward players. You could argue potentially as well that in that dribbling tab, you could get Maestro or you could get Lynx Archetype. For me, agility and balance are super important, but I'd probably just edge out ball control and dribbling over them just because of the playstyle that I use. I'm going to roll some clips out and talk over them and show you guys some little tips to get you a little bit better at this game and show you some simple things that will get you guys scoring a hell of a load of goals and playing a lot better. I mean, this build is very overpowered. Now that I've reached maximum level and I think I've played about 5 or 6 games with it, it's really good. There's a big difference between like level 15 and level 25. The only issue I have really now is I'm not really playing for anything. I've already won Division 1 a load on this game. We're trying to go 100-0, as you guys know. We're trying to go 200-0, 300-0, again, like we've done on last FIFAs. But now you just don't even level. And I think I've got here in a really quick time. 440 games I think it took me to get to maximum level is rapid. Like, so many people have spent so long trying to get max level. Like, if you play in any, you'll know about the glitch where you level slower. It's a joke. EA have never addressed it, even though we brought it to them. They just ignore us. So there are people who I play with who play in any who have played the same amount of games as me and are only like level 21. It's ridiculous. It's so unfair. But yet now I've reached max level. What is there to play for? That's what's difficult. Anyway, let's get into some clips. I'm going to give you guys 3 or 4 massive tips to improve you in Striker. So really quick tips for you. I'm going to give you 3, right? Green absolutely everything. As much as you can, green. If you're bad at greening, get in the arena, get in the skill games and practice it. I'm still not the best at it, but everything you green gives you a better chance of going in the net. And actually, last FIFA on FIFA 21, it wasn't that necessary, but it's kind of back now on clubs. Definitely necessary. So give yourself the best chance of scoring. It's sort of the same principles as to why I use a 5-star weak foot. If you greened it and it doesn't go in, well, what more can you do? The second principle is going to be crossing the ball and running through on goal over the top through balls. They're both so overpowered. Crossing the ball from literally anywhere, and I'm not really talking about hitting and hope crosses. I'm talking about like the one you just seen there. Running in a square into the box, if you're relatively unmarked, is very effective. The CPUs are terrible at picking up the unmarked man. And tip number 3 is just going to be a simple one, and that is level up as much as you can. When you get to level 20, you get 12 extra skill points and your pro feels about 100 times better. Maximum level, I can tell you now, I feel like a joke. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next Pro Clubs video.